everybody, and welcome to Success Never Sleeps. I am Marco Mazzola from Focus Martial Arts, and with me today again is Jason Smith from Believe Martial Arts in Florida. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Marco. How's everything going?
It's going well, my brother. How are you?
Oh, man, I can't complain not one bit. I love it.
How's Florida these days? How's the temp down there? We're in the 90s up here in Massachusetts today.
It's hot and humid.
Yeah, we got Florida weather happening up here today. Just for a little while, then it's going to rain, and tomorrow will be down in the 60s and rainy. So that's Boston for you. That's New England. That's what they say. Wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So summer's coming upon us. Summer is almost upon us here. It's June 2nd. Yeah, 2023. This is Success Never Sleeps. It's 2:00 on the East Coast. That's where we are. So we're taking the airways today. Professor is away. I think is this week. I think Braden's graduation. I think that's where he's off to this week, and he's going to be off again next week. So either we're going to do another show next week, or I'm going to have other people on next week. So we're going to get hopefully some other. Hello, Ashton. We're going to get some other people on next week as well. Obviously, you're welcome to come back on as well if you'd like to. We'll come up with a different topic next week, and I want to get some other school owners on. If any other school owners want to be on this week, you're not going to be around next week?
No, I will be here.
Oh, you're going to be here. Good. Okay, good.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. Otherwise, it's just my mug on the airwaves. And that's, I do a podcast on the side, but it's an audio podcast for obvious reasons. So we don't do the video. Not yet anyway. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about summer strategies. So if you're in the eye in the sky, say hello. I would love to hear from you if you have questions about summer strategies. If you want to pop on with us, you're a school owner and you have some input you'd like to talk about, some of your summer strategies, or if you have a question and you'd like to come on the stream, type me in the comments, PM me through Facebook, and I'll send you the link to be on the show with us. We're happy to have you aboard. It's kind of a free show today. We're going to kind of mix it up a little bit. Jason has some different talking points we want to talk about today for summer strategies. We want to hear from you guys as well. So we're not just the only ones chatting at each other. We want to hear from our guests here as well. So before we get into it, let's go over our sponsors. Let's get our sponsor stuff taken care of. So of course we have Toussaint. That's one of our new sponsors. Excellent gear. I'm still working on getting our stuff switched over. Oh, I hear some bells. There's some bells in the background.
That's phone on our end.
My medication. All right, good. Just checking. All right. We also have Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids with Life Skills, and of course, LC Accounting. All great companies. We work with pretty much all of them right now, except for Toussaint, which we'll be hopefully switching over to soon. I know you do as well.
Yeah, we've made the switch. Yeah, we work with all these companies, and we've already made the switch to Toussaint. Love their uniforms. Love their uniforms. Yes.
Talk to me about that, because I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Yeah, I mean, top-notch customer service with it. I mean, I can send in my email. They're responding rapidly, right back to me and all that. Uniform quality is great. Logo is done, perfectly screen printed on there. I don't have one complaint about Toussaint at all. I mean, it's a great company, good people, and they're genuine. You can tell whenever you're talking with them, Gunny and all the gang there that they are genuine about what they do, and they really do want to take care of you. So great company.
Fantastic.
I love it. Partner with.
I love it. That's great to hear, because like I said, I've been trying to switch over. The companies I use, which I won't name, sometimes there's quality inconsistencies. Never a bad quality, I would say, but like uniform sizes sometimes can be a 5 is not always a 5. And that's super aggravating when you're handing I know this guy's gonna be a 5, and then all of a sudden the sleeves are like he's wearing his little brother's shirt or something. You know what I mean? Like, yes. Like that doesn't make any sense. It's not the same length. If I put up against another 5, it's not the same. They should always be the same. So that can be aggravating for a school owner. So you always look for a company that does it right. So that's great to hear. I'm looking forward to switching over with that. Awesome. All right. So let's get into it, my brother. Let's get into talking about summer strategies. I'll let you go first. Give me your number one take. Like I said, so we were talking about offline dropouts. That's going to happen. We know that, you have drop-offs in the summer, people taking their breaks a month, 2 months. I was telling you, I have people taking 3 months off. we have a large population in my school, in our area, in the town that I'm in, where people go away for 3 months. They're from India, they're from Nepal, they're from, that section of the world where, it's a pain to get over there. It takes time, it could be a 24-hour trip. So they don't go for a weekend. They don't go for a week or two. They can't go every couple of years. So if they're going to do it, they go for months at a time, so they take 2-3 months off, so they have to go. They do. And we're on a month-to-month basis, like you do, like Professor does.
Right.
So you love them and you say, all right, we'll see you in September, which we plan for.
Yeah,
we know it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, we can't control when somebody's going to leave or take a break or anything like that. So we just have to best plan. And I think coming up with strategies for the summertime can help us stay successful through those summer months, through those times that we know we're going to have some on holds, we're going to have some drop off there, and just planning for success during that time, not just letting it just hope that it happens.
Right. So what would you say let's start at the top there. What would your number one strategy be?
Well, and I think a lot of schools do this, and I think that it's kind of 50-50. You got a lot of schools that do it, a lot of schools that don't want to do it at all. But I think number one is you got to take a look at summer camps on there. You need to see if it's a fit for you first. Don't just do it for the, to recoup the finances or make some extra money in the summer. That's the wrong reason to do it. And you're going to burn yourself out of that very, very fast on there. But if it's truly a service that you can provide to your community and it's a service that your community needs, then I would definitely take a look at that on there. Number one, and then you got to decide, do you want to do an entire summer? I know several schools that they'll do an entire summer, like what we do. We do 10 weeks in the summer. That's our entire summer here in Florida. And other schools, they may do half the summer and they may alternate their weeks, or offer a couple of weeks during the summer, that kind of thing. So
we're doing
a lot of
7.
Options.
This is our first year. This is our first year doing camp because we're in the new space and we actually have room to actually do the camps properly, where we can have the people in the back room during our class times, not interrupt the actual classes. So we're offering 7 weeks. I think we're starting at like the second week of July. Because our kids are going through school. They're going through the end of June in our town, which it's not normal. They had a teacher strike for a couple of weeks in our district here. So unfortunately, that took a couple of weeks. And so when the teachers went back, they had to extend. I feel so horrible. The kids they extended school. It was like June 29th in our town because the teachers in this town went on strike. I was like, oh my God. Not only, we have like snow days, which they always have to make up if they go past a certain amount. They have to make those up normally. And they had to make up because the teachers went on strike, which I thought was kind of like, I thought that was, to me, it was like, I get it. They have to make so many days for school, but it wasn't their fault. The teachers went on strike, but the kids have to and the families have to all pay for it in a sense, like being in school much longer. I was like, all right, but it just is what it is. So they're gonna be in school till the end of and all their friends from surrounding towns are getting out at the beginning of June. These poor kids have to be in there till the end. So we have to be in that town. So we're starting camps after the 4th of July.
Yeah, and and summer camp can be a beast, and it's a thing all in its own. It's not something that there's a lot of companies, a lot of products out there that can offer you summer camp themes and packages for it and stuff like that. And not saying that if that's the right fit for your school, then by all means go for it. But there's also, you need to really sit back and see what's the you need to know the culture of your school, so that way the camp you're offering fits your culture, and it doesn't seem like it needs to feel like an extension of your services, not an add-on out of the box program. It needs to feel like it's an extension of what you do naturally in your business on there too. So there is a lot of things that go along with summer camp that it can be overwhelming at times, and one of the things that I'm thankful for is having that network of people that, and all honesty, I met that network through Brandon with It's Time, and and the mentoring and all that. Because I mean, it's like, even though this is your first year doing summer camp, you know, we've had plenty of conversations just around the businesses as a whole.
Yeah.
Virginia, Monique, you know, James, all these different people, you know, that do things slightly different, and we have that network that we can bounce ideas off of or get good ideas and see if that can incorporate into what we do. So I would say, if you're going to do summer camp, make sure it fits for your culture, and then find a good network that's willing to give you that give and take on it, and give you real-time feedback. Get a mentor that knows what they're talking about with it.
Yeah. And there's many schools of thought on the summer camps, right? You see a lot of martial arts schools, of course, do martial arts summer camps, you know, and then of course, you know, there's something like more like what we do, which is more like what Brandon does, which is the fun camps. So it's not severely based on martial arts, although we will do some martial arts fitness within the camp day, half hour of just basic martial art, you know, exercises, punching, kicking, you know, some fun stuff, but we're certainly not working curriculum. We're not working kata. We're not working technique, just some basic exercises, things like that to introduce kids. So you don't need any kind of background or skill level in martial arts to participate, because that opens up to a broader audience. You know, whether you have, you know, 100 students in your school or 400 students in your school, only so many of them are going to take your camp, right? You have, but if you do a fun camp, you're opening it up to your entire community. You know, if you specialize it in just the, sorry, now my phone's going off. If you specialize in just the camp in your area, it's going to, you know, just a martial arts camp, it's just going to be your students. You're only going to, you know, bring to your students in your area. You know what I mean? So that's all you can do, right? There we go. Let's put that on.
I mean,
there we go.
Yeah, that's one of the big things is, and if you want to stick to that and you want to do just a martial arts camp, just have that in mind that, hey, it's only going to be a select few. It's going to be people from within your school, and maybe that's a specialty week camp that you do versus an entire summer or things like that. So again, there's a lot of play with that. You just got to really sit down and I've talked to so many school owners that they're planning their camps and deciding to do camps, and it's, you know, March, April, May of the year they're going to do camp. And I mean, we really start discussing what our camps for next year are going to be like after this year, because that's whenever it's fresh on our mind, and we can go, hey, this is what we did really well. This is what we need to work on to make it better. And now we already kind of have a plan going forward with that.
Yes.
So I think that's going to be something huge.
Planning is key. And when did you start planning?
Yeah, I mean, we start like our camp. So school here in Florida, in our area here, actually starts like the first, second week of August, and they get out at the end of May. Usually the Friday right before Memorial Day, and that's what they did this year. So we start planning. Like, I mean, we'll have little conversations throughout the camp weeks of what went well, what we think we can do better, because everything looks good on paper.
Yeah,
it's whenever you put it into action that you can make those pivots and adjustments to it.
Yeah,
so we kind of start talking about that So we go through and we start making those adjustments from week to week, and then at the end of summer camp, we sit down and go ahead and go, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what went well. You know, this is where we had some failures or some weaknesses in what we did. We need to execute this better. You know, or even like, hey, we did this and we don't even want to do that again. You know, that was one of those things on paper. It was great, but in the field, it was horrible. So we had to pivot really fast. So we go ahead and start making those plans the first week the kids go back to school. After our last summer camp's over, we go ahead and start looking at that then.
And when do you start, you know, advertising your camps?
So, you know, and there's mixed thoughts on this. We really don't start advertising our camps until, I think this year we started in April, really hitting hard in advertising. But again, it's just our area on this. So there are some people that start immediately after summer camp's over.
Right.
And we kind of let that go out to our student base. let them know, hey, we are going to start doing camp. We're going to start doing summer camps, and we're going to start doing early enrollments. We usually start doing that around November. But
do you do it
we've
also to the people
seen,
who do you do it to like the whole people that came to the camp that summer? If there are people not in the
yes,
not in your
so
school,
anybody
in the school.
Yeah, so anybody that came to the camp that summer, or anybody that is a student here at our school, they all get the information that August, September. So in there.
They get first crack
So,
at it. They get first work dibs.
yeah, they kind of get first crack at it on there with that. Now, there's other people that'll tell you, hey, we go and start advertising it out to the entire community or our entire area right after camp is over. And there's nothing wrong with that. It all depends upon the culture of your community. So our community, they don't start thinking about summer camp until April. Some of them in March. They want to get through spring break first. And then that's whenever they start, they turn and start thinking about summer after that.
Yeah,
so
that's what we noticed here.
We really hit it hard and heavy after spring break, and really start to drive that in from then on. And we still are, because we have people contacting. This is our first week of summer camp this week, and we still have people contacting us right now wanting to sign up for the entire summer. So.
Yeah, we started. I mean, we started advertising and pushing it even internally in January, just because of the first year. Wanted to put the fact that we're going to be doing it, and we didn't really see much sign up until after the spring break, after the April break, and then it started coming in. You know what I mean? And I think that's when people really started to hit it. Said, okay, we're going to start committing to doing it. Well, I don't know whether it's money wise or whatever they needed to do. They started to figure out their schedule for the summer. Whether they're going to be taking vacations or whatever. I think that's part of it too. They need to figure out their work schedule, what they're going to be doing. If they're going to be going away, like I said, we have a lot that go overseas for the whole summer. So, I still have some people who are still trying to figure that out. I have a couple of parents are still trying to figure out where they know they're going, but they don't know exactly when for the whole summer.
Don't know when and where.
Yeah, they're trying to still figure out the date. Yeah. So, yeah, that definitely happens. Excellent. So, what else? Camps is such a big subject. I know Professor talked about camps a couple of weeks ago, but camps is such a huge, huge subject. If anybody out there in the eye in the sky, if anybody has any questions on camps or input on camps, something that you do, let us know. Or like I said, if you want to be on the show, just message me or type it into the chat and let us know. If something you want to talk about, let me know, because we'd definitely love to get you on the show. And put your name in too. Again, this is Facebook with StreamYard is kind of tough. There is a link usually on on Facebook when you're coming into the show, and you can click on it, and it allows StreamYard to see your name from Facebook. I think most people miss that, so it just says Facebook user. If you do it once, it should allow it every time, and it adds that profile to your Facebook profile. It allows it to see your name, so we'd love to see your who's talking to us. I see somebody from New Jersey, things like that. So let us know who you are, so we can say hello to you. Yeah, definitely. Anything else on camps before we move on to the next?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. Camps are such a big topic. You could spend an entire show on just camps and all, but there's so many more things that we could do besides just doing camps.
Right. Oh, absolutely. So question, what's your best form of external marketing for summer camps? I know myself, it's been Google Ads. That's been my external.
Yeah, so
Google
I mean, we've run some Facebook ads. That's been our biggest one, and it's just because we haven't really done those before, so we're getting a lot of that from there for camp. But I would almost have to say your best, and this is the thing, the best form of marketing for that is still word of mouth. It's like anything else for your program on there. Now, if it's your first year doing it, you can't really have somebody spreading word of mouth about a summer camp that you've never done before, but they can spread word of mouth about your other events. Right. Yeah. They can spread word of mouth about your other events, any other type of little workshops, mini camps, just your services in general. And that can still lead into that. It's like, hey, no, we've done Parents Night Out. We do the martial arts program with them. We've done a birthday party. We've done all these different kind of things, and they are so consistent. They're so good. They're excellent with the kids. My kids always have fun. That can speak volumes. Yeah, in there as well. So I think it's those two things on there. Not everybody can spend the money to do, Google ads or Facebook ads or anything like that. So I think you have to get creative.
especially if it's your
Yes.
first year.
So I think you need to get creative with that. Use a lot of internal marketing to go external with. Have those have those raving fans that you have naturally created in your business. Those parents help you, because what they say to somebody is 10, 20, 30, 100 times better than anything that we would do coming directly from the business.
Well, it's the same thing. We know we're always going to say we're awesome. That's natural.
Right.
If you don't say your business is awesome, something wrong with you. But it's when the parent says that you're awesome. That's what makes the difference. I think too, the one thing to keep in mind as a business owner is when you're running camp for the first year, you got to keep in mind you're probably not going to make much, if any, money on the first year. You'd be lucky if you break even on the first year. You're trying to get the word out there about this new program that you're offering. So just kind of have that in the back of your mind. It's something that you're going to be growing, just like anything, right? That first year of camps is not going to be, all right, I'm paying my rent for the year on camps this year. It's going to take a few years before you do that. At the end of the day, once camp's been going on, that can be a thing. And there are plenty of schools that do that. They make their entire rent for the year based on their camp, the profit they make on their camps. It's a wonderful thing. But that's not going to happen for a few years. You know what I mean? You got to build that program up and make sure you're ready for that to happen. So, build it, do what you need to do. I'll tell you some of the ways that we're doing it and getting some great registrations is community events. Every community event we go to, we have some stuff on our program, but we're always talking about our camps. Our camps are there, so anytime you're out in the community doing a cotton candy event or whatever, school, talk about your camps. A donation. We've given away, I think, 3 weeks of camps for donations. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's a great way. It gets somebody in. It's our first year camps. Will we always have to do that? Maybe not. Will we? Yeah. We'll probably always do 1 or 2 for donations, no matter how big our camps grow, just because we do like to give back to the community and we do like to donate. We're always asked for donations for different school charities. We give away a birthday party. We give away a week of camp. But that gets kids in the door. You give an amazing camp, you now have a raving fan. And what did it cost you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a great way for the external marketing as well, is donate some weeks of camps to school fundraisers and things like that. We have a carnival coming up tomorrow. Actually, I'll be 4 hours dealing out cotton candy, and we donated a week of camp for their and a birthday party for their raffle prize. I think so we're like literally their platinum highest level sponsor that they have for this party. So we're all over their social media, all in their print stuff, everywhere, that we're the highest level donator with our logo and everything everywhere. I mean, you can't get better than that, I mean, to donate a birthday party and a week of camp. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's
amazing. It's funny you mentioned that, because that was one of my things that I had on my list of summer activities is booths and just being out in the community. It doesn't have to be for any special event. If you have a spot where you can put up a booth and just kind of run it, put the cotton candy machine out, let them break a board, whatever that is, but being out in the community, that's another good summer activity that you can do to, to bring awareness to what you're doing and all as well on there. So,
and go where the people are.
But
they're not always coming to you. Go where they are, and that's true. So we have a lot of stuff coming up over the next few weeks. My wife is very much, she's taking control of the schedule, and it's very much like, all right, you're going to be here this day. All right, you're going to be here. All right. Like next week, I have 4 days in a row. I have 4 days in a row next week of just cotton candy. It's 4 straight days, and it happens again at the end of the month. I have 4 straight days in a row.
Going to get a good workout then.
Oh yeah, it's good. Well, I'm bringing staff with me. I learned.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna be doing it too. We'll trade off. Like every hour, we'll trade off, or every half hour, we'll trade off. So yeah. It looks like James is with us. Hello, James. Resilient Martial Artist. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. I mean, we're just so grateful. We're so happy to be able to get out there and serve these carnivals, in the year barbecues and whatnot that these people are doing. And, they're calling us, that's been the best thing the first few years. We'd put ourselves out there and ask if they want us. And now they just email us, or they call my wife and say, hey, you guys still doing that? We'd love to have you come down. So we just get the call now. And now it's a matter of balancing the schedule. you know,
Yes.
sending me out with the cotton candy machine on my back, and out I go and get out there. So and just seeing the people, it's been fantastic. So yeah, now that we have the staff to kind of support us and get out there and do it, I have people still teaching classes while I'm out there. It's wonderful and it's great. It's been huge. We're in our new location now, and it's because of all this public community stuff. It's been amazing. Yes, James is 100% correct. Humidity plays
Yes, it does.
havoc on the cotton candy. You have to move it quick. You have to spin it and hand it off, and that's their problem after that. It's a nightmare. So luckily, the event I have tomorrow was supposed to be outdoors, but it's gonna be raining here tomorrow. So I think they moved it indoors. I'm like, yes, it's gonna be indoors. I don't have to worry about it because tomorrow's supposed to be a hot, humid day. So, but raining.
Yeah.
So luckily they moved it indoors. I don't have to worry about it. So let's see. James said, already getting booked for back to school nights. See, that's impressive. So you're getting back to school in September. That's crazy. That's amazing. That's awesome. I love that. So he's already getting booked for after summer events. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
way to go.
Whenever you partner really well with the school systems like that, I mean, we were already confirmed for the events that we did this year with the school. They already confirmed with us for next year. Hey, you're still going to do all this with us? Absolutely, we are. We're not. We're going to be there and do all that. So that's excellent to have that type of relationship with your local school system. They just naturally expect you that hey, you're always going to be there, and that's what you want them to feel, that you've always got their back. You're always going to be a big supporter of what they do, that kind of thing with it. So that's awesome, James. Already having back to school stuff scheduled now at the end of the school year.
Summer's just beginning, yeah. And at the beginning of school year, end of the school year, start getting stuff done. That's fantastic. I love that. Let's see if I can get that working. I'll have to talk to them during these next few events that got coming up. That's awesome. So what else did you have on your list after camps? You said outdoor events.
So after camps, yeah. So I just said park events. So with park events, whether you're doing like a picnic in the park for your student base, so you're out there, you're having fun. We usually do it, and we do we grill out. So I'll bring my grill out there. We supply like all the hamburgers and hot dogs or anything like that, whatever we're cooking. Everybody kind of brings a side item. It's like a big family reunion type thing and all that. And they just get out, they're playing at the park. We're just hanging out. We're having a good time. It's a real networking and relationship building type of an event on there as well. So something like that for your student base. And then the other one I said park passes. This is not my idea. This is strictly from Brandon. If you have a mascot, then dress them up, go to the park, play some awesome kids music, have the bubble machine, handing out little goodies, that kind of thing. You just kind of hit the park, you hand that stuff out, let them know that where you're from, and then you move on to the next one and move on to the next one. And you just kind of repeat that cycle in there with it.
Yeah, get the bubble blasters. Get a bunch of bubble blasters, like those bubble guns,
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Yeah, so anything like that, that's a couple of ways you can just kind of be. And like you said earlier, go where the people are. Where are they going to be at? They're going to be at the parks. The kids are going to be at the parks. They're going to be out there playing. They don't want to be cooped up inside all day. Parents don't want them cooped up inside all day.
Nope.
So I mean, go out there and give them a healthy little treat or a little snack. Play some awesome music and have some fun with the bubbles. What kids doesn't love bubbles,
Yep.
So
my kid's enthralled. My 3-year-old's enthralled with the bubbles.
So I mean, yeah. So anything like that where you can be out at the parks and they just see you there. You can even do a thing to where you do like a park cleanup. Like if you want to get a group together and hey, we're going to go clean up the park. And that way you're out and they see you out serving the community. Different things like that.
That's awesome. Let's see what James can say here. Also got called up to save a pancake bar for 8th grade dance. Their catering company canceled at the last minute, so they called me. But I got my shopping list. Now we're known as the go-to organization. How awesome is that? Give James
nice
a hand.
Job,
That's
James.
Awesome. I like that.
That is cool.
Awesome. What kind of company cancels at the last minute? Wow. What a bunch of dogs.
But
That's awful.
but
On
what
an 8th grade
and
dance, how good do it? They're never getting work again. They're never
yeah,
getting called
exactly.
again.
But look, James, he could have easily said no on that. He could easily say no, we just don't do that, or we've never done that before. But again,
Or
there's
that's
that
too hard. I mean, there's a
network.
million reasons to say no, right? That's too hard. We can't make
Right.
it happen. It's a time. There's a million reasons to
Exactly.
say no, right? You just got to
Yeah,
find that
but
one reason to say yes, which is your purpose, your why, and just make it
yep.
happen. Because I'm sorry, there's
And
always a way to make it happen. James is right. There's
yeah,
always a way to
well,
make
and
it happen. I don't care.
there he goes, right into that network, right into that network that I was talking about earlier. He called Brandon. Hey, this is what we're doing. We all know if we've ever, if you've heard Brandon talk about it, the pancake breakfast and all that. Like I've heard him talk about it 100 times. It feels like, but you know exactly. Hey, I know I got the idea. I know what it is. I know the person I need to call. Let me get it going. And now he is the organization because he came through in the clutch for. That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. He says the challenge, but well worth it. And Ashton's right.
Absolutely.
He rocks. He's right. James rocks. That's right. That's a company that cares, and it's a company they'll always remember. I mean, it's a business they'll remember that does that.
I need to go up there and ride around with James a little bit, see what all he's
I
doing.
mean, but that's it. He's now set the bar. Hey, James. And that's one thing I love about the community that we're in now is that we help to continually set the bar higher for each other. James just set the bar higher for us. You know what I mean? That's another bar setter right there. You know what I mean? Just we come out with a challenge like that. Nobody's challenged my business like that. I look forward to the day they do. Action, success, road trip.
We need a big tour bus for that, though, right? We need a big
tour bus. Big tour bus. Nobody uses the bathroom. We make pit stops. Nobody uses the bus bathroom. That's rule number one.
Right. So people, another thing with this right here is like internally, because the other thing is, you want to make sure you keep all your current students engaged through the summer too. So you want to offer some fun things for them too, right? So the next thing I had down was just like some little fun summer contests on there. Run a couple of fun summer contests. We're doing one right now where we're going to give away the prize is 2 super soakers because one's not enough. Nice. You got to have 2, right? So perfect summer fun. Different things like that. We're actually going to give something away even for the parents too. We're going to give away a complete auto detail for them as well on there. So we're going to raffle off both of those grand prizes on that. And
so what is your raffle
consist
of? How does the raffle work for you guys?
Yeah, so I mean, like what we're doing right now, we're doing some bingo cards, and they got to accomplish the task, and every time they complete a row, they get a ticket to go into the raffle. If they complete the entire card, they get 2 more additional tickets on there. And I want to say there's 6 rows in there, 6 or 8 somewhere around in there, something like that. But so potentially they get 8 to 10 tickets in there if they do the whole thing, and they have the whole month of June to do it in there. And then we're gonna pull one of those tickets, and then raffle off the super soakers, and we'll pull another ticket and we'll raffle off the car detail for the parents and things like that. Cool. So just some little fun things and different things like that for them. That's still based around our culture and the martial arts and the life skills that we teach, but extending out to, hey, we love to have some good old fashioned fun too. So
very nice.
So something like that kind of keeps them engaged throughout the summer, gives them something a little new to focus on to fill in some of that.
Do you do any parent night outs during the summertime?
So we usually skip it now because of the way we should do one in May. But our May was super packed, and the weekend we were going to plan on doing it, one of our instructors was graduating high school. So we're actually doing our May Parents Night Out tomorrow. So we're doing it tomorrow. But we usually skip Parents Night Out in the summer just because of summer camps going on. Right. Families just have a lot of stuff going on in general anyway. A lot of people, we live right here near the beach, so everybody's going to the lake or the beach on the weekends. So we usually skip the summertime and then do a big, really big one in August.
Yeah, we do the same thing. We do an August one. We usually like a board game night. Kind of like, just old fashioned board games and Twister and all that kind of fun stuff. And that's usually our most popular one, oddly enough. You would think the dodgeball and Nerf Blaster one would be the board game night is like the most popular. We get out literally we have like Rock'em Sock'em Robots and Battleship and Twister games and Uno and all kinds of like old board games. Kids love it. It's really crazy. It gets them away from the iPads and the Xboxes and stuff like that, and just get to play old fashioned board games, and they go crazy for it. So that's our most popular. We do that one in August, but we skip June, we skip July because the attendance is just, like you said, everybody's away doing stuff. So we do that. So we do the same thing. So let's see. Somebody, Facebook user said, I'm going to set up a booth at some local community events. I don't have a booth. Can you talk about booth setup and sources? Yes.
Ooh,
absolutely.
This is a good one.
This is a great one. Yeah, this is a lengthy one. Sit back. Booth setup. We've gone into some extensive stuff. I think there's probably some literature on the Disruptor page. I'd imagine. If not, I'll make sure there is, and I'll put some stuff up afterwards. But I think we've had some stuff up there. But we probably get most of our stuff from around the same places, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's several companies you can go with. I know Brandon's got an excellent booth set up. You've got an excellent booth set up. I love our booth that we do on there. We may not all went with the same company to get it set up, but there's a lot of features in there that are identical to it as well on there. So I mean, like, a good tent, good pop-up tent that's branded with your logo will make you stand out. The first time we ever used ours on there, it was at the community trunk or treat, and we did the whole setup, and the organizer of the event was walking around checking everybody was good, ready to go. She comes by to us and she goes, "Y'all are the most professional looking ones out here."
Yep.
Well, thank you so much.
Does that feel good?
It feels great. So so I would say get a good tent, make it branded. Ours actually came with a back wall that we hang up. And we did a bunch of pictures, like a collage of pictures from classes and things like that we've used throughout the years. And we did brand color, so it's black, red, and white. So we set it up that way. Logo on the table cover. That's a fitted table cover, not a loose one on there.
Yeah, the fitted one's key. Get the fitted one. The loose one's a pain in the neck. It's flapping all over the place. Get the fitted one. I'll drop some links.
It's just clean looking.
It's just really clean. It's definitely clean. It's much better for professional looking, and as well, just for when you're trying to operate. It's not flapping around all over the place on you. It's nice looking. Yeah, I would go with the fitted.
Yes.
Printed. Get your logo printed on it as well. That's key. The tent. Where did you get your tent?
I think we went through a company called Strike, something like that, on there. They did really, really well. They had a nice little package at that time with it, and we went back and forth. One of the things I liked was that we could go back and forth, and they did revision after revision after revision. Of course, every revision we sent it straight over to Brandon. Hey, give this a look. Give another set of eyes on it.
Yes.
And he provided us a lot of feedback with that too. Again, that's the reason why you want a really good mentor that can give you that kind of feedback and guide you through that process and everything. But I mean, we've got big old banner flags that go with it. The one thing I see a lot of places do, and Marco, I think you actually do the opposite of this, is whenever they set up their booth, they set up one table.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you set up 2 or 3 at times, depending upon the event on there. Now, not that you have to have a table cover branded for every single one of those, but a good fitted tablecloth on all of them that match is great. Yes, like this right here, because that front table with your logo on it, the way you have the information there, And I'm sure now the ones you have, you probably don't even have the sheets for them to take. They probably just
We
scan it.
don't.
Scan
We
the
so
QR code.
this was back in 2019. We first got it
There
all
you go.
branded with everything on there in the backdrop. So now we don't use this cotton candy machine anymore. We use the big professional one, and we put it front and
Right.
center so you can see it better. Just so an idea, we've
Yes.
updated, and we have a couple of these, you know, the stand-ups, but they all have the QR codes on them now. So we don't have to bring all the paperwork. We can just scan the QR codes. It's so much easier. We still have the birthday party drop box. You know, people can put in their name and information for a birthday party raffle. So we don't have to bring in all this paperwork that you see here. We have to bring all that in. We have a generator. We have the big cotton candy machine in the front. We have the logo, you know, fitted tablecloth, the big tent with our logo on it, the backdrop, all that kind of stuff. So that's that's what we do.
Yeah, so I would say, you know, have two tables with you, so then you have that one offset. Yep. Now, what we love to do is, we actually love to have a bunch of the coloring sheets from Kids Love Life Skills, you know, a couple of different ones, and the parent support material, and then just those. You can buy a huge pack, like Oriental Trading, different places like that, of like the 3 or 4 crayon packs on there. And you can set all that up for them to be able to take that with them. They don't have to necessarily stay there and do it. But you have that other table set up over there. So if they want to stay there and hang out, that's even better. You know, if you got a long line, for that cotton candy machine, and you know, you will. Every time we've had ours, man, people are waiting. I'm walking the line going, I'm so sorry for the wait. You know, people
don't mind. Like James said,
with you.
James said it earlier. People are very patient when you're doing it. It's cotton candy. They're getting it for free. How often do they have it? They're talking to each other. You know, it's not a bad day. Yeah. Our lines are the same way. So that year that I showed from that picture was our first year that we had done that with the cotton candy, and the line was the longest line. So that was our town day in the next town over. We had done that a million times under our old brand name, and it was very, very old school. Let's put it that way. So that was the first year we did cotton candy. And by the end of the event, the organizers of the event said, next year, we want you front and center of the, so basically there's a center of town and they do multiple streets that offshoot. And we were on one of the streets but we were a lot closer to the center this time. We want you front and center because you have such a long line. We want you to be a showcase in the beginning because we were the most professional looking, like you said. And then COVID hit and that didn't happen. So there's a problem there. But the point is, that's what they wanted us to do. And we were going to double our 10 size. That was a 10 by 10. We were going to go with a 10 by 20 so that we could add on the tables for the coloring.
Yeah.
You know, because you can do that. Like we go through China flag makers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we
China flag makers. That's what we use. That's what we use. Prices are great. Fast shipping. The quality's great. I've used them for a lot of other stuff. I used them for our masks when we were getting masks made. They're really good. And easy to shop with, easy to design and redesign if you need to. And then, like I said, they do a 10 by 20. So that's our next step. When we do a big booth event like that, we're going to do a 10 by 20. So we'll have space to kids can be underneath the tent on a hot day, coloring on the table or tables.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. So I mean, having that available, and then they can be over there coloring while you're making their cotton candy for them. Different little things like that, because the idea is that you want them to kind of be there and kind of hang around, and it creates a big buzz. The more people you have around your booth, the more people it attracts. Because everybody wants to know what's going on. Everybody wants to see it. And if you think cotton candy is just for the kids, we have grown adults with no kids standing in line waiting for cotton candy.
Yep.
So everybody loves cotton candy. They do. That would be my.
And unless it's a humid day, it's not as messy. Cotton candy is the way to go. Right. You get popcorn more often. You go to the movies, you got popcorn. You see it at carnivals more often. You get popcorn more than you make popcorn at home. Cotton candy is more of that thing you don't see very often. And when people have it, it's less messy. It's not kernels all over the place. You know what I mean? On a hot day, it drips. When it gets a little drippy, but that's okay. But it's easier to maintain. It's easy. It's also easy to maintain when you're just holding it. Especially if you're only doing one flavor. You're not a lunatic like me with 21 flavors. We don't do the 21 flavors out in public. Let me just put that out there. We do 21 flavors when we're in-house at our birthday parties. That's it. Yeah. That's all we do.
We do
we do
one
that
flavor
for
at a
birthday.
time. We do one
Well,
flavor
yeah.
at a time
Well, because
at the booth.
in-house, when we're doing our birthday parties, we still use the pink machine. So you can dump in, one scoop, one flavor at a time. It's not a problem. You really can't do that on the professional machine because it all mixes
No.
together. So you got to use the one flavor. It just keeps coming out. So we just use our focus flavor, which is a mix of strawberry, cherry, and bubblegum. The team
nice.
and the team had
See,
fun.
now-
The leadership team had fun designing that flavor. We spent an entire leadership class design. We used the 21 flavors, and we designed our red, since that's our school color. Designed our
Right.
red flavor. We came up with everything. We used the lemon and lime, made 7-Up. We made like apple pie out of the fall spice and the green apple, and we made like the kids were coming up with most amazing flavors. We did an orange creamsicle. We did that. Yeah, we created that one too. James said
Nice.
they did too. The kids had a blast. I mean, they're all hyped up on sugar. So the first half of the 2 hours class, they did that. The second half, I made them do dodgeball. Otherwise, the parents would have killed me because they were hyped up on sugar. So I had to have them burn it off for the second. Oh yeah, I had to have them burn it off for the second hour. Could send them home all hyped up on sugar.
That's right.
That was a fun day.
Yeah. So I mean, anything like that. Yeah. Oh, exactly. But I would say those are probably the crucial steps to setting up a booth for the professionalism of it and everything like that. But I mean, still stay within your budget. Don't go overboard right away. Slowly add a piece at a time on there with it. I think the crucial things is making sure that you do you at least have something that's a really strong statement of your brand. If it's just the pop-up tent, do just the pop-up tent. But you can find really good package deals and stuff like that, and then have that item. Like I said, we use the cotton candy machine, but have that thing that draws them to the booth and some information that they can just scan and take with them, or handouts. Let them know what you do. That's the reason why I really love the material from Kids Love Life Skills on that, because we're putting the information in the parent's hand. There's a coloring sheet that the kids can do. We even bring some badges with us too, so we can start kind of handing those out whenever we see kids doing something really great or anything like that, or if they finish the coloring sheet. There's different ways that you can do that and really communicate what you really do on there as well. So if you do not have the coloring sheets, or you have not seen them before, hit Marco up and definitely take a look at those coloring sheets and the parent handouts from Kids Love Life Skill, because that is a game changer whenever you're out there at the booth, because everybody else is trying to sell something out there and you're giving this information away for free.
Yep.
And that goes a long way to a parent.
It's amazing. So I have one right here, because every time somebody comes in, when they're looking for classes, we give them whether they come back or not, we give them the family handout with the family badge, which comes with the student parent discovery, the matchet, and the coloring page on it. Yep. We give them all, whether they come back or not, whether they try a free class or not, we give them this to take home and use it. So they give them the badge. Here you go. We tell them exactly how to use it. Read this over with your child. Go over the matchet together. Have them do the coloring page. If you do come back, bring that back. We'll put it up on our raffle wall. And the magic is the badge. You get to decide how they earn that family badge at home.
Yep.
Right? We could be spending 20 minutes a day doing some family time. That's not for me to decide. It's for you to decide how they get to earn that badge. That's when the parents' eyes just ping, they light up and they love it. So, we hand it out to everybody that walks through the door that have kids. You know what I mean? So imagine doing that at a booth.
Yeah.
It's absolute magic.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And speaking of Kids Love Life Skills, if you can see, I'm a big fan.
Big fan
on here. Big fan, huge fan.
Huge fan.
But one of the things I put on my on my list was, and everybody's gonna be like, why are you talking about this now? Reader for the day. I know school's out, but there's libraries, there's daycares, right. There's other community events where kids are at.
That's still
you don't have to go in there and teach them a martial arts class. Go be the life skill expert in your community. That's what parents want. That's what these
public libraries will still have readers reading throughout the summer.
Absolutely. And if you come in there and show them that book, let me tell you that the Adventures of Bray and Tay book I was telling Brandon this a couple weeks back on there, is I can't wait for him to come out with another one, because that focus book is amazing. Every time I show it to a teacher or a librarian or anybody that's in that leadership role over kids, they're like, man, this book is so great. You know, um, they love it. And what's great is they don't even know I'm going to give them one yet, because this is the magic we've come up with on this, is that we go in there, we read it. I have the books like stashed away, and then I tell all the kids, I ask them how they love the book. They're like, oh, that was awesome. We do a couple of focus games with them, straight from Excellent Kids on there. And then I go ahead, I tell them, I'll say, now you're going to get to go home and share this with your family, because there it is. It says, now you can get to show this with the family, because you're all going to get to take home a copy of this today. And then I look over at the teacher and I say, ma'am, I know you said that this was something that was really great and you need more of. So I want to make sure you have a copy of it as well. So I give one to the teacher, so they have it for their classroom in there. And then as I'm leaving the school, or as I'm coming in, one of the two, I always stop by the library. Hey, have I donated one of these books to the library, to this library yet? No, we don't have one. Well, here you go. So now you're constantly in support of this, this type of education and all that. And you can still do that all throughout the summer.
Yep.
In there with it. But then you take that book, you take that material that you just showed for family, but you take the focus one in there. You can even take a bonus one like confidence in there, or respect, or any of the other, what I counted up, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's like 40 different life skills that Kids Love Life Skills has now.
46, I think. 46 is the current.
46.
46 is the current number. Yeah. We were taking stock 40. Of them yesterday. We're taking stock of them yesterday.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's on my list to do today. I've actually got to order me some.
I'll send you the list.
Badges. Yes. So there's 46 different life skills, and you can take any one of those and supplement with that in there with it as well. So now they have the badge, they have the parent discovery sheet. They have, if you attach the Mat Chat with it, then you have that. You have the coloring sheet. So now you're establishing yourself as a life skill expert in your community that teaches martial arts. Now you're a real investment for a family on there. And that's something that you can continue even during the summertime.
Yeah. And it's just another point of, contact with the community. It's another way to show the community that you care, that you're there, and you're there for the community, and you're not just, out there getting names and numbers and trying to connect with leads. You know what I mean? It's right. And it does feel so much better than just standing there with a clipboard. You know what I mean? I've been there like years ago before we switched over to Focus. Like I did that. I stood there with the clipboard and I couldn't stand like walking by people when I go to events like that who would stand there with the clipboard. And I found myself being that person standing there with a clipboard, and it just felt so wrong. And you know what I mean? And people don't mind it. People love that kind of salesmanship or whatever. And if that's them, that's you, then go for it. If that's what you love to do. It just, for me, it's not what I love to do,
But let me ask you though. So even with that, this is kind of an aha moment for me a little while back, because we had just done Reader for the Day close to the end of the school year for pre-K school year. And I used to be the same person, right? I used to be the same person. Stand there with a clipboard. Hey, give me your information. Oh, let's spin the wheel. Those kind of things, right? That we've learned from years back. And I would come in contact with those people in the grocery store or in different parts of the community. They would never come up to me and have a conversation with me. They might wave and smile, but they're walking by or they're turning the other direction a lot of times. We started doing this for the local schools and different things like that. Now I get parents walking up because the kids saw me and says, hey, that's Mr. Smith. He came and read us the book.
Yeah.
And whenever the parent comes up to you and starts talking to you about that book, now you're you're a life skill expert in that community, and that's how they see you. They don't see you as a salesman.
Right. They don't see you as the person that needs to walk around and go to the other side of the street.
Right. Because then you've done something wrong. Yeah, I mean,
they just want to avoid you. They just want to avoid you. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
that's
but
how
if you're
feel.
You're out there giving and serving, and if you can't start by donating a book to every kid, that's fine. Just donate it to the classroom.
Right.
Just do that.
One to the library,
organically,
one to the whatever. Yeah.
One to absolutely. And then organically, you'll start seeing that, hey, eventually you're going to get to that point where you can donate it to every kid. And then if you really want a strong social proof, wait till you start doing that and the school starts posting pictures about you on their social media. Because that's what we get now.
Right.
We get, one of the pictures, and again, a little bias in this one right here. It was my daughter's classroom. So whenever she was in kindergarten, but the teacher took a picture all with them holding the focus book up. And then my daughter's sitting in the middle holding a big sign that they put "thank you." And then they put that on their social media and it says, "Thank you so much to Mr. Smith from Believe Martial Arts for investing in our kids' reading." You can't ask for anything better than that.
No, you can't. You can't because now when the day comes that a parent's thinking of putting their kid in martial arts, who are they going to think about? Who are they going to go to? Right. Who are they going to think about? You already know you're doing the right thing on the mats. You're teaching a great program. You have a great life skills program, a great martial arts program. The job is done interior, right? It's the highest level interior. So that's taken care of. We're always improving. We're always trying to make it better. We're trying to make it a better Disney experience every day. You know what I mean? So now it's the external stuff to get them in. Now you know the best ways to get them in. You know what I mean? It's just who are they going to think about? Because now it feels honest and feels real and honest, not not just a sales trick. I'm trying to get them in the door. It's the best feeling. So we're just about up at the hour. Any last minute questions from anybody before we jump out? Before we hit up the sponsors again and call it a wrap on Success Never Sleeps for this Friday. It's been great having everybody with us today. A lot of great interaction with the audience. James, a lot of chit chat from James. Good to talk to James again. Maybe we'll get James on next week. So I think, like I said, Brandon's going to be off again next week. Conrad, thank you. Oh, there he is. I can see him now. Thank you, Conrad.
Yep, there he is.
You as well, sir. If anybody would like to be on next week's episode, I'm going to try to get on to the topic. If anybody has something they'd like to talk about or questions they have, hit me up. Private message me. Let me know what you want to talk about next week. We're going to show. I'd rather not run a rerun episode. I'd rather do another live show next week. Keep it fresh, keep it going. I want to talk to school owners. You know what I mean? Jason and I will be on again. But, and Jason and I could talk forever. We have and we continue to do so. But we want to get other people on, just not a two screen. We get more people into the mix on here. So let me know if you'd like to be on next week's show. We can all get going, get everybody on. That'll be awesome. James, well, you got a lot of stuff to say as well. A lot of good things happening over there at Resilient Martial Arts. So hit us up. Let us know if you have time next week to be on. That'll be great. I know in a couple of weeks when Professor's back, Bob Poole's going to be on with him. He'll be the next person on. Did I say Victor? On with him. Going on, I think it's the 16th of June. That show, he's going to be on with him. So that'll be awesome to have Bob Poole on. So that'll be cool. All right. Let's go for our sponsors one more time before we get out of here. We have Tusam, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids of Life Skills, and of course, LC Accounting. Please hit them up if you're looking for these companies. Are the greatest companies to work with in their industry. We love them. Jason's working with all of them. He's one better than me. Thank you, Jason. Always looking to show me up. I appreciate that.
Just trying to help you move forward.
I appreciate it. Always looking to make me better. I appreciate that, sir. I appreciate you. I will talk to you later. I love you, brother, and we'll talk to you later. Yes?
Yes, absolutely. Love you guys.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right. We'll talk to everybody later. Thank you again. Professor will be back in 2 weeks. This is Success Never Sleeps for June 2nd, 2023. What do we always say we're going to go out there and do, everybody? What are we going to do, Jason? What are we going to do?
Well, in my head, it goes straight to be successful, but we want to live our best life.
Oh, there you go. Live your best life. You almost got it. You almost said it. It's all right. The professor will take care of you later. Bye, everybody.